Hello and welcome back to my channel, Glenn's Vinyl Records. Today we're stepping things up with our lighting, some new equipment. I'm looking at a Amaran 100XS, which is shining through a Godox 85D CS, something like that. It looks like a big white beach ball, illuminated. Today's video is about 15 live records that I have in my collection, and they're not jazz. Today's video is not about jazz. Mostly rock albums, rock with a little bit of metal, some blues albums, but 15 live albums that I play a lot in my collection. Starting off today, number 15, B.B. King, live at the Regal, and this was recorded in November 21, 1964 in Chicago, and it's a great live set where the audience really gets into it. You can hear them cheering and shouting out. Has a lot of his favourites. It's My Own Fault, How Blue Can You Get, Please Love Me. 10 tracks in total, and he's really burning on this record. It's a fantastic live record by B.B. King, live at the Regal. Number 14 is an album by Johnny Winter, live at Woodstock. And this was recorded on Sunday, August the 17th of 1969 at the Woodstock Music and Arts Fair. And it's a great double album showcasing Johnny Winter's talents as a guitar player. 8 good tracks. Mama Talk to Your Daughter is the opening track. Leland, Mississippi Blues, Meantown Blues, You Done Lost Your Good Thing Now, I Can't Stand It, Tobacco Road, Tell the Truth, and finishing with Johnny Be Good. And well worth checking out if you haven't heard it. It comes with an insert, which is a photo of the crowd at Woodstock back in 1969. And it says here, this is by the co-producer Michael Lang. Part of our strategy was booking lesser known acts along with more popular groups. Santana was an unknown, Joe Cocker was an unknown, Crosby, Stills and Nash were unknown, and Johnny Winter was also unknown at the time. We tried to introduce new acts that we thought would resonate. And Johnny Winter went on to become one of the great blues guitarists. His brother Edgar Winter also appears on here as well on 3 tracks, and that's a great album, well worth getting. Number 13, Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble, and this is live at Carnegie Hall in New York. Recorded October 4, 1984, but this wasn't released until 1997 on Epic Records. And it's Stevie Ray Vaughan with Double Trouble, Chris Layton on drums, Tommy Shannon on bass. And it was actually a benefit concert for the DJ Martell Foundation for leukemia and cancer research. And the first record, it's a double album as well, is just the 3-piece, Stevie and Double Trouble. But on the second record, sides 3 and 4, he's joined by his brother Jimmy on guitar. And also, I think it says here, the Room Full of Blues horn section. So there's a trumpet, trombone, 3 saxes. Yeah, it's an additional drummer. And that's a great live record by Stevie. That's one well worth checking out as well. Number 12, Neil Diamond, Hot August Night. This is one that as a young kid, my older sister had in her collection, and she used to play it a lot. So I got used to hearing the songs over and over again. But it is a great record, recorded at the Greek Theatre in Los Angeles, August 24 of 1972. And it's his incredible 8-piece band that he has, along with a 36-piece string section on some tracks. And it's a shot of the inside. And everybody knows the tracks on here: Crunchy Granola Sweet, Done Too Soon, Solitary Man, Sweet Caroline, Red Red Wine, Play Me, Song Sung Blue, Cracklin' Rosie, I Am, I Said. Yeah, just heaps of great classics by Neil Diamond performed live. This is the best way to see him, I think. So that's a great one. Number 11, the Allman Brothers Band, live at the Fillmore East. And this is one of their iconic records, probably one of their best. And it's well known for the cover photo because it was actually not taken anywhere near the Fillmore East. It was taken in their hometown of Macon, Georgia. They set up the road cases against a brick wall and took this photo. It was actually done by Jim Marshall, the great photographer. And during the shoot, Dwayne Allman spotted his dealer walking past and went over to get some stuff off him, and then went back to the photo shoot, and he's actually concealing it in his hands there, and that's what made the whole band, the rest of the guys, laugh. And that's the photo that Jim Marshall captured at the time, and yeah, it's one of the great photos. On the rear, they took another photo with the road crew who had set up all the cases, and it's them holding their beers, which they were given as payment for setting up the road cases against the wall at the time. But they thought they'd give credit to the road crew and put their photo on the back of the album, which is great. That's the inside of it there. And they do a lot of great tracks here: Statesboro Blues, Done Somebody Wrong, Stormy Monday, You Don't Love Me, Hotlanta, In Memory of Elizabeth Reed, and they finish side 4 with a 23-minute version of Whipping Post, and that's great. Fantastic live record. Number 10, I had to put in a Jimi Hendrix album, and I chose this one, live at Miami Pop Festival, and this was recorded in May 18, 1968 at Gulfstream Park Raceway in Hallandale, Florida. It's the original Jimi Hendrix experience with Jimmy on guitar, Noel Redding on bass, and Mitch Mitchell on drums. It's a great shot there of the band with Jimmy playing the guitar between his legs. And they also include a great booklet as well with this one, with some fantastic photos. Jimmy on the front there. Photos of the band at the event. More photos there. And a couple of great ones here and there with Jimmy. The back shot is interesting because everybody knows Jimi Hendrix is playing the Telecaster, or Stratocaster I should say. But on the back he's holding a Gibson Les Paul upside down, which you don't see a lot of photos or footage of him playing the Les Paul. So that's a great photo there. And that's highly worth checking out as well. They do Hey Joe, Foxy Lady, Tax Free, Fire, Hear My Train A-Comin', I Don't Live Today, Red House and Purple Haze. And then side 4 was bonus performances from the afternoon show of Fire and Foxy Lady. And that's a really good live record by Jimmy. Number 9, I'm going to go back to the first album I ever bought when I was 10 years old. Kiss Alive, the first one from 1975. And this is my original. It's been played a lot. And it contains tracks from these first 3 records, the self-titled, Hotter Than Hell, and Dressed to Kill. All the classics: Juice, Strutter, Got to Choose, Firehouse, Hotter Than Hell, Cold Gin, She, Parasite, Rock and Roll All Night. Just a great live record by Kiss, Alive. Number 8 is another album by Kiss, Alive, Alive 2. Shots of the guys on the back. Mine's got some seam or spine damage, should try and repair that. But this was in 77, 2 years later. And it's remarkable that that was the kind of stage show they were producing in 1977. Absolutely fantastic. Also remarkable is the fact that this was only 4 years after they started in 73. So they'd produced 6 studio albums and 2 double live albums in 4 years. One of the great bands of all time. Hey, number 7. Here's a more recent one. Roger Waters, Us Plus Them. And I actually seen this tour when it came around to Australia, and it was fantastic because this one actually is a triple disc set. So it folds out like that, and then you also get a separate booklet as well, and shows what happened during the show. They had this effect where if you were sitting to the side you could see this. It was the Battersea Power Station rising out of the heads of the audience from the centre of the stage all the way down the middle, and that was fantastic to see that. Puts on a great show, Roger Waters. And that's another one. If you're into Pink Floyd, definitely check that out. Number 6, I had to put an AC/DC live record in, and it's this one, live at River Plate Stadium in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The shot of the stadium on the back is incredible, packed with people. And I also have this on DVD, and I highly recommend, if you haven't seen this concert on DVD, I think you can even watch it on YouTube. Definitely check it out because the audience is amazing in this. To see that many people reacting and jumping at the same time, they were just going crazy. And this 3-record set is on red vinyl. So that's another one. All their classics on here. Rock and Roll Train, they start out with that one. Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be, Back in Black, Dirty Deeds, Thunderstruck, well, all the usual ones, all the big hits. So that's well worth checking out. AC/DC live at River Plate. We're up to number 5 now. Had to put in Black Sabbath album, of course, and I chose this one, Live Evil. This one was recorded in 1983 in Seattle, San Antonio and Dallas. It's with the lineup of Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, Ronnie James Dio on vocals, Vinny Appice was drummer, and Jeff Nichols was on keyboards. And they do basically all of the big hits from the Heaven and Hell album, plus Mob Rules, and some classics from Black Sabbath thrown in as well, the original, like War Pigs, Iron Man, Paranoid, Children of the Grave. And it's got great photos on the front which relate to, you can relate those to each of the songs, and then great shots of the band on the inside. There was a bit of friction at the time over the mastering of this and the mixing between the band members, which ended up in Ronnie Dio leaving with Vinny Appice and forming Dio to start his own solo career, but then he would rejoin with them later. But this is a great live album from Black Sabbath, highly recommended. Okay, can't have a Black Sabbath album without having an Aussie album, so I chose this one, the Randy Rhoads tribute album, and this was recorded in late 1981, released 6 years later in 87, and yeah, Randy died in March 1982, aged 25 years old. Such a shame, such a talented guitarist. And there's a great shot of him on the back, stretched out with his foot on the volume pedal, holding his cream Les Paul. That's a great record, double album, fantastic Aussie songs, and some Black Sabbath ones as well. Number 3, I'm selecting this one, Thin Lizzy's Live and Dangerous, and it was released in June 1978. Recorded at a series of shows, London in 76, Philadelphia in 77 and Toronto in 78, and then compiled together. Produced by Tony Visconti, and it shows Thin Lizzy with their best lineup, I think, with Phil Lynott, bass, and Brian Robertson, Scott Gorham on guitars, and Brian Downey on the drums. It's got some great photos there from those 3 concerts that produced this album. And got all their big hits, Jailbreak, The Boys Are Back in Town, Dancing in the Moonlight, Massacre, Emerald. Great version of Rosalie that they do. Bob Seger's song, Don't Believe a Word. Yeah, it's great. Great record, great live record by Thin Lizzy. Really captures what the band were able to do. Number 2, Little Feat, Waiting for Columbus. This is a fantastic record. The first live album released by Little Feat and recorded over 7 performances in 1977. 4 at the Rainbow Theatre in London and 3 at George Washington University in DC. And yeah, all the band there. And photo on the door. No admission to anyone wearing motorbike gear or any metal-studded clothing. So I suppose you could do that back in the day. And the band Little Feat is Lowell George, of course, Kenny Gradney, Bill Payne, Sam Clayton, Richie Hayward and Paul Barrett. And here they're also backed up by the Tower of Power horn section. And they produce some great music here. Fat Man in the Bathtub, All That You Dream, Oh Atlanta, Spanish Moon, Dixie Chicken, Triple Face Boogie, Rocket in My Pocket, Willin'. Yeah, all the great classics from Little Feat. And if you get this, you'll really enjoy it. Waiting for Columbus. Last one. I think I saved the best for last. This is an amazing live record. The Last Waltz by the band. And the band is Rick Danko, Lee Von Helm, Garth Hudson, Richard Manuel and Robbie Robertson. And this was recorded in November 25, 1976 at Winterland Arena, San Francisco. And you get a booklet with this. It's a 3-record set because the concert was that long. And you get a booklet showing a photo of Winterland there at the time of the concert. Because it wasn't just a concert that was set up so they could have basically dinner at the same time. It says here there was a dinner for 5,000, a waltz orchestra, a hell of a party, and some friends showed up to help us take it home. And when they say some friends turned up, that's a list of the friends on the back, and I'm going to read it off. Paul Butterfield, Eric Clapton, Neil Diamond, Bob Dylan, Emmylou Harris, Ronnie Hawkins, Dr. John, Joni Mitchell, Van Morrison, The Staple Singers, Ringo Starr, Muddy Waters, Ronnie Wood, Neil Young. They all came out on stage and performed that night with the band on various different tracks. And yeah, that's a great 3-record set. If you can get it, it's hard to find these days, but yeah, I'd highly recommend getting that. Hours of enjoyment from that one. So that's a look at my 15 live records in my collection that I go to and listen to quite a bit. Not jazz related today. I wanted to do more of on the rock side, rock and blues. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.